You know, in concept, this theme would work, right? Like, Dimensions is a theme that has all these iconic characters are in it already. Like, they did some crazy outlandish stuff, and I mean, you probably have heard this so many times, but for those that don't, we got Lego Adventure Time, Doctor Who, we got all these crazy themes, even Back to the Future at a time when they maybe made like one set, maybe? There was, Simpsons got sets, Ghostbusters, I mean, you name it, a lot of the themes at that time were coming out right then, and 2015 was crazy. I think Dimensions was a really cool theme because of that. You could do so many cool and iconic, like, I mean, not just themes, but genres and... Listen, I'm going to get to this right at this moment right here. I'm going to quickly mention the pros and cons of Dimensions. A lot of people have already discussed it, but I'm going to be honest. If you're looking at the market today, especially, Adventure Time sets right now are skyrocketing, right? Those minifigures alone are worth at least $100. Those sets are at least worth $100. And it's crazy to look at that like right now. But there's a couple things that, you know, kind of caught me by surprise. Now, for me, I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan, right? I love Mission Impossible, and it's crazy. What's crazy is this is the only Mission Impossible set that's ever come out ever. And it's just this weird little Dimensions pack. Now, I wanted this specifically just for the Ethan Hunt figure. Though the Ethan Hunt figure, surprisingly, is about the same price as just the actual set. So that testifies how much it's like just everything else that you get in this set. The little IMF Scrambler and the IMF Sports Car. I mean, they're whatever generic. I think this is just based off the first movie anyway. I mean, like, the whole box art right here anyway is just the first movie, that one scene that everyone talks about. Listen, I can go into depth about Mission Impossible, how much I love it. I'm not a big fan of the first two, obviously. I mean, I like the first one. The second one's goofy as hell, and the third and sixth one are, like, peak. Like, seriously, they're peak cinema. And I urge you to go watch them. But, really, this set right here is a bit of an interesting thing when it comes to these kind of very exclusives. You would think this set, especially with the 7th movie coming out this year, would be huge, right? Like, a lot of people would be seeking after this set and this minifigure. Ethan Hunt is a pretty big icon. I mean, it's the only Tom Cruise minifigure we have. And it was like only like $10 just to pick up the whole set. Now, this was a damaged box, and it might really be like $20 or so, you know, like $15, $20 people are spending. But for even this damaged box being $10, it's kind of crazy that like a set like this that is an exclusive does not always mean that you're gonna be getting. And also, this set right here is just fantastic. Like, honestly, I wasn't expecting for such a little intuitive build with the little motorcycle right here, but it feels so great. This car is pretty neat, I guess. It's a nice little car. It's whatever. I mean, it's like, I think it's only specific maybe to the first movie, but it's like still, it's nice. It's nice to get like these like IMF tech and all that. But really, I think what's nice is that you're still kind of able to put Ethan Hunt even on the thing. So actually his face, he has a dual-sided face right here, and honestly, I love that it has just a plain like Tom Cruise face, because you could use this kind of for like anything. You could even use this for like a nice little like Maverick or that movie from Minority Report. What a great, actually, you know, I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, not of himself, but whatever. So honestly, I think I like the idea that you can kind of just have them to the motorcycle, and you can even take it off the little stand right here, and it works kind of pretty well, honestly, on its own. So I kind of like that. I also love the MI print that's on the front right here too. I love that like most of this stuff is like printed. There's no stickers with this, which is fantastic. I honestly say this is a really worth it set, even for the like just this like little display of him on the motorcycle, because he's like on a motorcycle in like every single film anyway too that he's in. So it's kind of nice to like to get this. It feels nice. And, you know, bada bing, bada boom. What a nice little display. You got Ethan Hunt on his motorcycle. He's ready to get into some action, some impossible missions, you may want to call it. Wow. Just a fantastic set, honestly. And for the only Mission Impossible set, you can get this for at least like $10. Even $20 is still really worth it, honestly. And I'm being genuine with this set, too. Like, who cares if it's just, you know, like a Dimensions pack? Who cares about these little things? Like, you get a great little set right here, honestly. What am I getting at here, okay? I'm gonna stop myself. Where am I getting at here, right? I mentioned that Adventure Time is almost like $100, and all these other exclusive things, like A-Team is pretty up there too, and all that. But why is this, right? Why are some of these, like, Dimensions themes not really as expensive as you may think. I really don't know. I'm happy that a set like this is not that expensive, because really sometimes I don't think Lego should be that expensive, right? I think like if I get why they're expensive, but sometimes it's like I don't think they need to be. Now I think on the other spectrum of Dimensions, I have another Dimensions pack, right? It's the Jurassic World pack. It was like the double pack or whatever it was. And what's kind of funny is that the figures in here, like, I mean, it has a nice little Velociraptor build, and it has, like, it just has Owen Grady, you know, the Chris Pratt, has just some random ACU, whatever the dude from the first movie was. Like, these figures you can get in the main sets when they came out anyway, so there was no point, right? So these ones are incredibly cheap. Like, no one cares about, like there was, like, Ninjago sets in Lego Movie and Jurassic World, Marvel, was it Marvel? I don't know. There was DC, but like I think most of those kind of sets, they didn't sell, like they sold well, but they don't go as expensive anymore either. And even with this too, which I feel like Dimensions is also like, I think it's because of the gimmick too with these sets that they're made for the game. And I didn't touch much on the game. I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the sets and their price and their relevance now, because really, it's not there anymore. I think besides a couple of handful of the Dimension sets that were like what piqued a lot of people's interest, I do feel like Mission Impossible is a big franchise, but it's not as big as one may think, and I feel like with all these kind of like Jurassic World sets right here, it's just not, it's nothing valuable on those because you can get those anywhere. So I think Dimensions kind of fell into this weird mediocrity state, because now, I mean, in 2020 we're basically getting like every single theme in the Undersea. Like there was a Sonic set that came out for Dimensions and it was crazy, but now they're coming out with a bunch of Sonic sets, and it's kind of like, well, why would I want to get that old one when I can get some shelves in the new one? There's like 10 sets, so there's gonna be a second wave coming out. There's no point, right? And I feel like Lego, like, this was cool in the moment because, like, oh, Lego wouldn't do these kind of themes, so it'd be cool. But now, they kind of do it, like, all the time. Especially with, like, Lego Ideas and Icons and just yada yada. You could see every set on the shelf now. It's something popular. It's something iconic. And I think Lego Dimensions was cool, but not anymore. So...